So I was finally able to kind of get the game at speed 5 and just kind of skip through a couple years. So some things have happened, and I've found a pretty good spot where there's a lot of different things going on in terms of wars in this world. And you guys have no idea how nice it was to finally go out on speed 5 to kind of speed it up and give some time, let it go by. Nothing really happened. There's a few little nations that were eaten, and we'll go over that right now. And now there's a pretty good amount of wars that are going on currently in the world. So this should be interesting to kind of pick up from. I think I think I only skipped ahead by about maybe 5 years, 6 years, something like that. So India, it looks about the same. I think they picked up like 1 or 2 provinces from some of these minor guys. Oman has been destroyed, so the Saudis control all of the Arabian Peninsula except for this small tip here. And I'm not entirely sure. I don't even want to try to pronounce that one. They're allied to Israel, Iran, and India. That is why this small little nation is remaining alive, I guess. But the Saudis are super powerful. Very, very strong. You saw that Libya had been released in the last video because of Ethiopia. Well, Algeria went and just, I guess they didn't like that. So Algeria made sure that they got rid of them, and bam. I noticed that Italy had grabbed this tip away from Tunisia, I believe. And so Italy is back in North Africa. The Polish-British war is still going on. That is still happening. And as you can see, the Turkish are starting to, kind of mobilize, and we'll get into the wars a little bit later. Now, the strangest thing that happened, I know you guys are all wondering, what happened at the results of the British-Canadian War? Nothing big happened, but something really weird occurred. For some reason, Revolutionary France is now part of the game. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if it's a mod thing. I don't know. I don't know. Revolutionary France is here though, so that's all I can say. Yeah, I don't know how long they're gonna stay around. I don't know how long they're gonna stay alive. I don't think for very long because they're not allied to anybody. They do have a truce with Canada for the next. Well, I mean, if they somehow survive for the next 13 years. Without like America destroying them or something, then maybe they'll find a foothold, get some strong alliances or something. Maybe they ally to Mexico. That would be interesting. But yeah, so Revolutionary France has been popped out, and no, nothing from Greenland was taken by the British. Okay, so let's check in on the wars. There are quite a few. Like I said, the Polish War is still going on with Great Britain. But there are several new ones. So South Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Cyprus versus Sudan and Kenya. Now this is a South Sudan nationalist war. Okay, so this looks like Sudan is probably going to get destroyed here. I believe. There they are. Okay, boom. Yeah, more than likely that's going to be the end of Sudan, I'm thinking. South Sudan will take that over. We have Tajikistan versus Uzbekistan. A couple of alliances going on. Pakistan getting involved. That's the first time we've seen Pakistan involved in a war in quite a long time, actually. Turkey. So here we go. So Turkey did the same thing. Turkey declared war on the Greeks, and pretty much the EU is just entirely invested in every single war. Like anybody in the EU now is going to declare on anybody outside the EU, declaring on its members. I don't remember that being a thing in the early part of this game. Not at all. So yeah, this should be really successful, I'm thinking, for the Turkish because for right now, look at what Great Britain is at war with. Oh, actually, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm sorry. Let's look at what. Well, that's right. France and Spain aren't a part of the EU anymore. Okay. Well, maybe it's not as bad as I thought. So Turkey, luckily though. Well, here's the problem for Turkey is that right now Greece is already completely occupied by Poland. Poland is sitting on these countries just waiting. Remember, the British tried several times to land in Polish territory, but they've been kicked out every single time because they don't have enough transport ships to send all at one time. That's been kind of the biggest issue for the British. And, I mean, so far, the Polish they're not winning, technically. I don't know how, but they're not winning. So, there you go. So, yeah, Turkey's going to try to take away some lands from Greece. This is probably the most interesting war that occurred. Not this one. Oh, Armenia, Uzbekistan, Pakistan. Oh, there's actually 2 different wars going on in that region. But this one here, the Antillean War for Independence, caused this huge chain of reaction of events, and it pretty much has drawn the sleeping giant out of its slumber, and Germany is back at war after, I think, 25 years, something like 20, 25 years. This is the first time Germany's been at war. So we'll see exactly how strong they have become as time has gone by. They still have to core some of these lands, huh? They haven't cored all this stuff. So they're at war with Spain and France, not the most powerful of Western European nations, but that's still something. And oh my gosh, look at that. Boom. 681 stack, taking on a 274 stack from, and remember, is Portugal involved too? Yeah, so it's actually France, Spain, and Portugal. And they have to worry about Slovakia here. I'm sorry, Yugoslavia. Is Italy? Wait, what is Italy doing? Is Italy in war? Oh, that's right, because they're part of the EU. I forgot about that. So that's part of the issue. Is Italy's part of the probably one of the strongest nations in the EU, I would say. I think they're stronger than both Sweden and Norway. So I would rate them Great Britain, Italy, than maybe Norway, Sweden, because last time I checked, Sweden didn't have a military. They got most of it destroyed. But anyways, yes, I'm very excited. And all that happened, all that stemmed from an independence war. That's the craziest part. Is an independence war stemmed this huge conflict, and it's like a small little nation. Look at these guys. Look at how small. It's a little island, right? Yeah, look at that. Boom. This small island caused this massive war to go down I forgot to talk about it. Not only in Europe, but as well as in South America. Again, Peru and Brazil going at it. Peru calling in their ally of both Uruguay and Paraguay, which they actually really needed, as well as France is here too, technically. So Brazil, this is actually going to be an interesting one because it seems slightly fair. Remember, Paraguay is like a one-province minor, but dang, they've got a pretty sizable force limit. I was surprised. I'm sure Uruguay does as well. So this will be interesting to see who wins because Peru is powerful, but they do have alliances on their side. They're going to need every single piece of alliance that they can get. There are still a few more rebels that Brazil are kind of dealing with, but nothing too bad. Now I'm wondering if Argentina is going to decide, hey, yeah, I want to get involved in this war. If they do enough damage to Brazil, then they might. But anyways, yeah, huge mess. Europe is entirely at war, that's for sure. I wonder if Russia is thinking about maybe trying to make some gangs here. But yeah, no, every single nation, I believe, except for actually Bosnia and Hungary, maybe Macedonia. Yeah, a few of these nations, Albania is not at war. So everything, yeah, there is fine. But yeah, so anyways, there's a few smaller provinces that aren't at war, but the major countries are all fighting it out between each other. So this should be pretty fascinating to see who comes out on top. Seems like a few more wars have popped up. Let's briefly check in on, let's see, I got to remember all these wars so I can check the results and stuff like that. I just love how this small little island causes huge backlash. So many people to get involved here. I do want to check this region here. So we have Kazakhstan. Pakistan's at war with 2. Okay, so the Armenians. The Armenians, yeah, but they're helping out an ally, I think, of Kazakhstan. Yeah, they're helping out Kazakhstan here. Well, we're going to see if Pakistan can make some gangs or what they're going to do. India also, I guess you could be considering the real super sleeping giant. I mean, they haven't done anything besides go after some very, very small territories. So we'll have to see if they ever break their slumber. I would absolutely love to see an Indian-Saudi war. That'd be fantastic. I believe it would go towards, and it's been a while. Let's go ahead and check on size, military size, and army size. By the way, maybe I'll save this for the next one. I'll save that for the next one. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you guys like a cliffhanger. By the way, we'll talk about that in the next video. But USA still on top in terms of armies. China, then the Saudis. Okay, so where's India compared to the Saudis? Very close. It would be very, very close. It would pretty much come down to the placement and where those regiments are at. It would probably heavily favor the Saudis only because, for the most part, India's army is kind of on the Chinese front. So I have a feeling that most of the regiments would be backed up there. That is what India does not need. They would need... I'm so surprised that the Saudis... Whoa, this is actually shocking. The Saudis have caught up to Germany. They've gained that much power over the last 20 years that Germany's been asleep for, and they are now the 3rd strongest military power in the world. Turkey, look at Turkey. Turkey also going up there. I know you guys always say Turkey's not that powerful, and I'm always like, but Turkey's powerful, and then when I say that, they're getting their butt kicked. But look at that. They've got numbers. They finally got some numbers. Malaya's been quiet. Mexico, Japan. Britain has had a pretty tough time. They've lost a lot of troops in both the Canadian and Polish wars, so I can't say that this is a accurate number. Although their force limit is pretty low, but look at Turkey going way over their force limit. Who else is going way over their force limit? Oh, the Saudis are. There you go. So that explains why they're, for now, ahead of Germany. And briefly, that's not all I wanted to check in on. Let's also check in on navies, especially after all those naval battles that went down in the Atlantic Ocean. The USA somehow... Wait a second. That's got to be in the Pacific. How are they at 1,000 ships? Oh, that's their force limit. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Okay, that's their force limit. They've built their ships fast, but remember, I've let like several years go by. I think it's like 5, 6, 7 years. I can't remember. You guys could probably do the math if you check back into the old video. China currently has the biggest navy, then Malaya, then Japan. It's funny how they're all in East Asia, and it's probably because those regions have been relatively quiet in terms of naval wars. They've gotten into, I mean, even like land wars. They haven't really done anything too crazy. So I guess that explains some things. But yeah, wow, I'm shocked to see the Saudis ahead here. Because technically Germany should be in that third place spot, then India, then the Saudis, Malaya, Russia. Why has Russia not built anything? Russia's just done. They're like, yeah, you know what? I don't even want to participate in this game anymore. They've had a tough time. Germany is allowing Yugoslavia to just do whatever, I guess. Germany also, have you noticed, has given open borders to Italy. So Italy's going to go fight Poland right now. Poland and or Turkey. What's Turkey doing over here? Why are they moving through? Oh, are they going after Italy? Italian territory? I don't know. Turkey's very lucky, though. Poland has pretty much just given them a present. A Christmas present almost, because they've already destroyed most of the EU in Eastern Europe. So whenever Poland does decide to peace out, Turkey's not going to have to do much to, reoccupy those territories. Very lucky for their sake. And also Poland might even destroy the Italian army, which would be another big thank you card. Oh, Sweden's trying to land. Oh, Britain is back over here too. Again, this is killing the British force limit, though. I'm sorry, not the British force limit, but the British military size. Look at that small little island going over here sieging out France. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Germany helping out this small... Now, here's the thing. This is an independence war, so more than likely we will not see any lands gained from Germany. I don't think. I believe not. And that'd probably be for the best, even though time has gone by and several years have ticked off some of the aggressive expansion. It's still really, really high. It's still around the hundreds. So, yeah, Germany really cannot afford, I don't think, to take more land, but we'll see. They could always separate peace and take a whole bunch from France, technically. But they've got to be really, really careful. Now's the time to do it, though, because the British have really lost a lot of strength. They've been at 2 big wars. They've fought against the Americans and the Polish. And the Polish, technically the British should have been able to handle Poland, but unfortunately their, I guess, decision-making hasn't been on top of the game, on top of the world, I guess you could say. Here are the Italians. There's a 90 stack. Turkey, I don't know what Turkey's doing. Running around here. I guess Poland is going to do all the work. And Turkey's going to reap all the benefits, because more than likely, I don't think Poland's going to gain anything from this battle, from these wars. They're only at what? Like, let's see, where are they at? Poland's at -8. Yeah, so they'd be lucky to get out of this without losing anything. I'd be surprised if Sweden doesn't take back southern Scandinavia. Anything else that's gone down? Who's significantly winning their battles? Oh yeah, Germany's dominating France. That makes sense. So that helps. So they'll definitely become independent. Let's check in on South America. That has been a pretty interesting case so far because it's Peru and allies versus a solo Brazil. And I don't think any of the European nations are investing anything. Technically, there's a 25 stack from France if they wanted to go after these guys, but I don't think they will. Peru, what's going on? You doing good? See, before, when Peru was at war with Brazil a few years ago, they were split between 2 different fronts, a southern front and then an eastern front. Now they can entirely invest their troops, as well as, they do have the alliances on their side, the Guays, Paraguay and Uruguay. So I don't know if that's helping. I think it is. I see normally, I mean, Brazil, I think, has been really struggling over the course of the last few decades. They've lost some pretty big wars. Again, Mexico was the one that really dealt a lot of the damage because remember, the EU, the only reason why Brazil got this big was because the EU came and saved the day. Mexico and Venezuela, absolutely. We've never seen Brazil get slapped that hard before. I mean, they got just slapped down. And I don't think they ever really recovered because remember, all those rebels popped up and, you know, they were trying to fight the rebels. Then the Peruvian War broke out and, you know, Peru didn't make anything any better. It's only been 5 years. I guess the Brazilians could have rebuilt somewhat there, but maybe they did, but they've been kind of taken back down because Peru is at like, you know, 200 force limit or 200 military manpower or something like that. So Brazil has been kind of on a decline for the last several decades. Even though visually it seems like they've been doing better, they've been doing good, better than ever before. It's kind of not been the case. So we'll see exactly how much they lose here. Again, Peru, actually they won't lose anything because this is an independence war. Yeah, this is an independence war. Anything that's going down in... Did this war end? No, this war has not ended. Why isn't Sudan fully occupied yet? That doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense. There's one occupation. They're about to, right? Is this... Yeah, here they go. They're about to go in there. I don't know. Wow. Have they just been sitting around doing nothing or what this entire time? Turkey's already at 20 war score. How? From 18 battles. They have 18 war score from 18 battles, as well as they have occupied by... What are they occupying? Are they occupying a few? Oh, yeah, they are occupying a few little islands out this way. I didn't think about that. I forgot about that. So there you go. That could be pretty successful. This could be a pretty successful war for Turkey. Is Poland done yet? No, Poland is not done. How's Germany doing? Yep, they have completely ripped through France. That's for sure. And pretty much the Spanish-Portuguese armies are completely insignificant. There's nothing. There's nothing here. I'm thinking. I saw there's a small stack of Portuguese here. Spanish, Portuguese, French units. But, I mean, even that's scary. That's scary when Portugal, Spain, and France all teaming up still can't take on a solo Germany. While Germany is still fighting technically a second front against Yugoslavia, even though they've been smart and haven't invested in that. Ooh, Austria's still around? That's right, they're part of the EU. Oh my gosh, that's shocking. Why isn't someone taking out Austria just yet? I don't know. Yeah, wow, that's kind of crazy. Turkey sending over some land. Oh, Turkey made a landing in the Italian peninsula. That's what they needed to do. Very smart move for them. And actually, because Italy, I think Italy has been stack wiped by Poland. Poland has been just dominating, man. Poland, really, I don't know how they're losing this war. They shouldn't be losing this war. I guess it's these provinces up this way, but man, Poland needs like an award. Like Turkey needs to give them so many cookies. That's what they should do. Bake them a whole bunch of cookies and send it over. Okay, so a few wars have ended, it looks like. Oh, and it was the Polish War. Finally, it's about time. And actually, they were forced to give up things, weren't they? Oh my goodness, how? Was Slovakia released? Did they lose something or not? I actually cannot tell. No, they've got a truce with Ukraine. No, Slovakia was here, right? I think. Yeah, no, I don't think they lost anything. Okay, well, I guess that's not too bad. They could have lost something, and that would have sucked because they, to my eyes, looked like they were dominating that war. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.